Stargazing mega fast, you hit me like a cosmic blast. You've given me a technicolor world.
Putting me in overdrive, speed of light, I'm so alive. Could you be my supernova girl?
Interplanetary, megastellar, hydrostatic, there's no gravity between us.
Our love is automatic. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Make my heart go.
Boom, boom.
My supernova girl.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Make my heart go.
Boom, boom.
My supernova girl. Oh my God.
Hey, Val.
Hey, Al.
Welcome to D-Commentaries.
Thank you. And welcome to you and welcome to our listeners to outer space. Today we're talking about Zenon.
Zenon, girl of the 21st
century. Zenon came out January 23rd, 1999. We're in 1999 now. And fun fact, Zenon was based on a book.
No way.
Yes, a book written in 1997 by Marilyn Sadler, illustrated by Roger Bolin. The book was also named Zenon, Girl of the 21st Century.
Huh.
Zenon was directed by Kenneth Johnson, who also directed Don't Look Under the Bed and wrote Mighty Ducks 3, D3. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fun.
So he's got a little bit of cool...
Or should I say stellar?
Okay. Let's just talk about this right now. Did this movie make that a thing? Because I say stellar all the time. Did I make it a thing because of this movie?
It does seem to be a very 2020 or 2020 like 2000s word.
Right. Like I definitely use this word a lot. Like
I
even
don't,
today.
but I will today.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
You should use all the vernacular today.
Major.
Major. The film, again, we're already off topic within the first minute. Zenon was also written by Stu Krieger, the teleplay, so it was adapted from the book, by Stu Krieger, who also wrote Smart House, Phantom of the Megaplex.
Oh my.
Both Zenon sequels, True Confessions, Gotta Kick It Up, Going to the Mat, and Cowbells, all DComs.
What?
And he's most famous for writing The Land Before Time.
I love this man.
Right? This man, like, formed my youth.
Stellar.
He is stellar. Stellar major.
Wow. We do love this man.
Stu Krieger, man. He's gonna be around a lot.
Well, we can do, whenever he comes up again, we can do a Stu shout out.
All right, cool. Stu, shout out! There, I did my high voice for you.
Thank you.
Also, I would just like to point out, I sang today.
You did it now. You asked us to sing, and I asked you to sing, and you sang for me.
Asking you shall receive.
You have a beautiful voice. Who was that other great voice singing with you?
That was Protozoa. He called in from London. He's great. This movie starred Kirsten Storms as Zenon Carr, Raven Simone as Nebula Wade,
Yes.
Gregory Smith as Greg,
Woo!
And Philip Reese was Protozoa with the hair.
With the hair. That really was a staple of 1999 for a lot of elementary school children.
Yes. And also, like, props to the people who took enough time to actually do that hair, because, like, that could not have been a quick do.
No.
Also, frosted tips.
Do you think,
tips.
okay, you were saying how did this movie create Stellar? Did this movie create Frosted Tips?
I don't know. This movie was very interesting because it was positing, it was kind of like how the future part of Epcot
Future World.
future world is what someone in the 50s thought that now would be like.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So originally the future world stuff was part of that exhibition, right? Where they were like positing what the future would be like.
Experimental product of tomorrow. And Ryan's
Yes.
going to hear that and he's going to kill me for not getting it right. So don't put that in there.
It's a big, beautiful tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay, now I've got you singing, Val.
Yes, you do. Well, Michael would be very proud of me for knowing that song. He loves the Carousel of Progress.
Me too. I can't wait for the day we all go to Disney together.
Right? We're going this summer. You should come with us.
I'm going in 2 weeks.
Oh my God. So they kind of approached the futuristic stuff as kind of like that way of thinking, like the future is going to be fashion like we have right now, technology like we have right now, just a little bit more, like just a little bit cooler. So like, for example, like they had in the computer lab, they had like the ergonomic keyboards and the ergonomic mouse, you know, and all that stuff. And it's like, that was like cutting edge in 1999. Now no one uses that crap. But back then it was like a big thing where you had that like split keyboard where it like faced the other way because it was like better for your hands or whatever. But like, hey, they did predict tablets.
And like the fact that you can zoom from space.
Right. Yeah. So they did predict that, which was pretty cool. And like whatever those tablets were, like they looked like a GPS. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Like the GPS that you'd put in your car.
Yeah.
That we used to not have on our phones and you'd have to actually buy separately.
Exactly. It looked like a Garmin that they'd just like painted. Yes. Yeah. So the synopsis is very short this week. It is: an inquisitive teenager finds herself involved with suspected dodgy dealing on her space station home and ends up being sent down to Earth. Quick.
That is very vague and
very
has
vague.
Nothing to do with the plot line.
Well, that's not entirely true.
It does have something to do with plot line, but it doesn't give anything away of the conflict. It gives no hints towards the conflict.
Well, I think a good synopsis is vague, right? Because like, you don't want to give away. You don't.
No, I want like a 15-page paragraph of.
Nothing will please you because when I read that ridiculous synopsis for was it You Lucky Dog, one of them, which was like too much.
Oh yeah,
you're
I
like
hated it.
That gave everything away, and now you're like, I want them to give everything away.
Yeah. If I'm anything, Val, I'm never pleased.
Ain't that the truth? Okay. So first big reveal, Chelsea Clinton is president.
I screamed. Because he was like, President Clinton, and then he had to clarify, not Bill Clinton, his daughter Chelsea.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God.
I mean, he might not end up being wrong.
There is a chance.
I could see her running for president.
Can you imagine if all three of them had run?
I mean, that's not crazy.
That's so
like
cool.
These dynasties of families, like
I
in
guess
the
that does
public
make
eye.
sense. Yeah.
But yeah,
that would have been so cool. I love the holographic teacher in the beginning.
Well, it was kind of funny because this movie, like it had iPads before iPads. It had virtual learning before virtual learning.
This is the perfect quarantine movie.
It's the perfect quarantine movie.
Oh no, you have to ask me my first impression.
Yeah, I was wondering, Allie, what did you think of this movie?
Thanks for asking. I do really love this movie. I thought it was a fun watch. For some reason, like more than halfway through, I kind of started losing interest.
Oh, interesting.
Which made me sad because it's such a good movie.
Yeah.
So on my Allie scale, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
That's fine. That's acceptable.
Yeah.
Above average.
Above average. Great movie. Would watch again in like the background.
Fair.
I don't know that I need to sit and like.
Fair. I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah.
Again, I had not seen it, for probably 15 plus years.
Yeah.
But I'd watched it a lot when it first, around when it first came out. Mm-hmm. And I love the character. I love how with it she is and how self-aware Zenon is. And she's so, like, she's a troublemaker for sure. Mm-hmm. But
She's everything I wish I was at 13 that I wasn't.
Right. She's so brave, obviously, but she's also like not that selfish kind of troublemaker where like
she's doing it for the greater good.
well, not even just that, but even in the beginning when she's not doing it for the greater good, when she's just doing it for herself, she involves her friends, but it's not in a heartless way. Like she would 100% take the fall for her friends. You know what I'm saying? Like she's not the type of person who's like, you chose to be there too. Like she does say one time, like with the spacewalk where she's like, well, there were other people there. It's like, and her dad's like, but you were in the spacesuit. And she obviously is just saying that because like she's, you know, she knows she's in big trouble. But like she wouldn't actually do that. She's a very good friend. And I just, yeah, she's a good person. She like holds her own with that girl on Earth who's so shitty to her.
She's so mean.
She's so mean. But yeah, so I really enjoyed this. I would watch it again.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed her.
I thought it was well written.
I thought that I really liked Aunt Judy. I really like
she's so adorable.
Yeah. I thought that Zenon and Greg had like legitimate chemistry.
Yes. Yes, I was rooting for them. I was really rooting for them. I was really rooting for them.
Yeah, I really liked like every character. Honestly, the most annoying character was Margie or whatever her name was, the evil girl.
She's in another movie that we will see.
Okay, because that I don't know if it was the actress or the writing or the directing, but like that was the fact that
he was like, I don't want to date you ever, and she was like, I'll try again tomorrow. Yeah. I was like, she's the ultimate friend zone person.
Well, but she's also just like a piece of shit. She's just like so one note and like gross.
But I do love her sweater with the like sleeves.
She was just so like it was funny because this one felt a little bit like Under Wraps in the sense where they felt a little bit more like tiny adults. And her outfits kind of made me think of that too. Like there's a certain type of like middle-aged desperate woman that would like dress in those outfits.
Why? Okay, Val, are you describing me? Because I just said that I liked her sweater with the sleeves and you're saying I'm a desperate middle-aged woman? Okay.
That's exactly what I was saying. That's exactly what I was saying. Yeah, so I thought that was kind of funny. They used color really interestingly in this movie. Like all the to
show who was doing what on the ship.
Exactly. Like everyone who lives on the space station is all in like turquoise, pink, purple. Like everybody is in those sort of like 90s colors, right? And then
like neon.
Yeah, and then when the guys from Earth show up, they're in like black, red, mustard yellow, like all of these more primary like muted colors. And then when they get to
colors,
right, they're very evil. And when we get down to Earth, it's kind of the same. Like the kids are wearing like Earth versions of the colors, right? And so that's why like Margie is the only one who's always wearing like reds and like evil. Those kinds of evil colors. But then like everyone else is wearing like 90s patterned like,
which is great because shirts. Then the 90s are going to come back in 2042 and I love the 90s.
The 90s are back right now. 90s, as stated last week, we are in a closed loop of time when it comes to fashion. Okay, also something that was said early on that struck me was everything down there is motivated by money. Ain't that the truth?
And then she didn't have any money at the lunch table.
I know, but it was just like, she literally was just like, they're all dirty capitalists. And then someone else
It's pleasing said, knowing that's also going to happen in 2042.
Right, I know. And then I think she followed it up by saying something to the effect of, no, everybody down there is motivated by fear. And I was like, oh my God, those are literally the two motivations of every person.
Yeah.
At least in America. I don't know about the rest of the world.
She also said, down on Earth, people with runny noses are packed together like microchips. And then her friend goes, I've never even sneezed.
So funny. Since we're quoting stuff, Do you have any other favorite lines?
Yeah, I've got a ton. She was joking with her mom about something, and her mom goes, "Stow the jokes, Zenon." And I thought that was really funny because stowing, like you stow things on like an airplane and you like put them up. And I just was like, they're on a ship, the spaceship, and they're going to stow. I thought that was funny.
They were very clever with the like vernacular that they used. Like everything had something to do with space or something to do with the spaceship or some, everything was like very intentional, which was great.
Yeah. They had some really great lines that were pretty intellectual, like, nothing can ever be guaranteed until we put it to the test. And then I had to pause and take a breather after hearing that. And it was like, thank you, sir, from Holes for delivering this incredible line in Zenon Girl of the 21st Century.
I think this exact line was said in the last movie in Halloween Town. I can handle myself. I'm 13.
Yes. I wrote down lucky age of 13 because this seems to be the perfect age for all of these DCOMs of coming into your own as, a human being. And then I was thinking about my time as a 13-year-old.
Well, I definitely, like these kids, thought I was 35 when I was 13. So I definitely related to that.
Yeah. And, it's weird comparing her to like Kimberly J. Brown, who was also 13, where I think, granted, they could be different ages when they were cast, but Kirsten Storms just seemed so much more mature than Marnie did at 13.
Yeah, well, I think that's accurate, right? Kids all age and mature at different ages. I think that's why these movies are set at this age, because it's so crazy. Like, there's just so much going on.
Yeah.
And
puberty
is crazy. Did you have any other quotes you like?
Yeah, I had a few. I didn't write down the whole quote because I only liked one part from it, but Greg goes, "Viral is nasty." And that also put me into like a mental swirl because I was like, oh my God, viral is nasty. Like, if you go viral, you're held so accountable. Yeah, I only had one more. Raven Simone as Nebula was not turning her back, but had made a comment to Kirsten Storms, and Kirsten Storms says, "Et tu, Nebula." And then
that was incredible.
Nebula is like, "Bringing up Shakespeare, are we? Like, if something really is wrong with you, are you okay?"
Oh my God, that was so funny. Again, it was like the high reference level. I like that. I appreciate that in these movies.
Mm-hmm.
I liked "one sin minor and my life is a living black hole." So dramatic.
So dramatic.
Also, there were a lot of really, really creepy looks.
Okay,
between people.
Yep.
And like the first time that she and Wyndham meet, the way that he like stares her down is like among the creepiest things that I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Ever. And then later they have Greg staring at her like a freaking creep for like 15 minutes.
He doesn't emote. He just stares.
Yeah, that's his way. Can we talk about all the code stuff on the ship
are just wingdings? Oh, I didn't know that the band's name was Microbe. I thought it was just Protozoa was a one-man band, like Justin Timberlake. But Protozoa
Microbe.
really, Microbe was the NSYNC and Protozoa was the Justin Timberlake.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's true. Okay. I'm feeling ready to take my iridescent vest off and take the shuttle down to Spoiler City.
Is it time? Is it time to take off our bras and board the shuttle to the ship, and the ship takes off to Spoiler City, baby?
Yes.
Welcome to Spoiler City, Val, where we ruin the movie.
That's exactly what we're doing.
All right. Lights up on a space station. We see the morning of Zenon Carr waking up for another day on the International Windcom space station. And Zenon is just your normal girl, and she's just growing up on the space station instead of growing up on Earth. She's been there since she was 5 years old, so this is kind of all she knows. She's very fun and is kind of the class clown, but also troublemaker of the entire spaceship. Like, everyone knows her. But the most important part of the beginning of the story is that she is entering this contest to win to meet her favorite band, which is Microbe, and then she gets to dance on stage with the lead singer Protozoa. So she enters this contest. We see Raven Simone, we see her friends, and we get to the point where there's going to be this big cosmic light show outside, and she convinces her friends to have her put on a spacesuit and tether outside of the spaceship, which in retrospect is horrifying. And she's out there floating, and then her dad comes, sees her out there, all of her friends get in trouble, and then she gets in trouble, and her mom yells at her and says, keep this in mind, it's gonna be important for the story, she's gonna get grounded if she does something bad again, okay? So she's like living her life again, and then Val, I forget how she gets in trouble again.
Well, so Wyndham, the guy who owns the space station and is like a rich businessman, comes to the space station with his assistant. And she is up to some of her little hijinks, and she catches his assistant doing something fishy, and she decides to follow him.
Yeah, so she decides to follow him, and then you have to keep going with this part because I do not remember. I literally watched it this morning, and I do not remember.
That's okay.
How she gets in trouble with it.
Yeah, so she's following the assistant because he keeps trying to get into the main computer room, which is off limits to pretty much everybody. And she finally enlists her pals to get her the code so that she can get into the room to catch him, or at least see what he's doing, because she is trying to tell people that she's suspicious, but no one's really paying attention to her, listening to her, because she's always kind of in trouble and always up to no good. So they're kind of like, oh, it's just Zenon, she's full of crap. And they've also all been kind of taken by Wyndham because he's very charming to everyone. So she does get into the main computer room, but the guy, his assistant, gets away and she gets caught. So they think that she was trying to do something bad, but he drops the disc that he used when he went into the computer room to do whatever it is that he was doing.
So then her parents yell at her and they say, you're grounded. And she's like, okay, you can take my tablet. And they go, no, you're grounded to Earth, which means she has to fly all the way to Earth and move in with her aunt on Earth. This is detrimental to Zenon because we found out that she won the contest. She won the contest because she created this really cool like protozoa statue out of just random recycled trash from the space station. And so she's super upset because she's going to miss the concert. She's going to miss her friends. She's never been to life on Earth and she doesn't know how she's going to handle this. So before she leaves to go down to Earth, Raven Simone, Nebula, finds a piece of trash on the ground, thinks it looks cool, and decides to give it to Zenon as an earring. Now, this piece of trash is the disc that the spooky guy dropped. So then Zenon goes down to Earth. She's got this really cool earring on, and she's talking to Wyndham to be like, okay, bye forever. And she like tucks, she like, if for this is for Gen Z, she does the Debbie where she tucks her hair behind her ear and like looks down and like looks up and smiles. And that's like, it is a thing. Val,
okay,
but it's a TikTok thing.
Okay.
And she like does that and shows off her earring, and then the assistant realizes, oh my God, she has like all of my information that we need. So she goes to live with her aunt. She's learning, you know, how to live life on Earth. She has this group of friends on Earth now with Margie, the evil one, and her new boyfriend, Greg, and the guy from Holes, and then the Kim Possible movie from 2019 producer. So this is her group of friends. And so then, the assistant finally catches up to her and he's like, hey, I need that disc. This is, you know, they destroyed the aunt's house trying to find the disc. And then they realize that it's on her and all of this stuff. And they finally create this ploy because they figure out what's on the disc. They figure out that the disc is trying to blow up Windcom so that the evil, creepy, winky guy can have all the insurance money. So he's just going to get millions of dollars if the ship blows up. So Zenon is the one who is like figured out that disc has the stuff to reverse
the virus.
Yeah, has the
Well,
like,
so
or
the
she
guy
has the virus.
So the virus was on the disc. Then the guy from Holes figured
Yeah.
out how to turn it into like an undo program,
Okay,
basically.
so then she's got the undo disc. And so the assistant comes and threatens her and is like, give me the disc. And she goes, only if you can get me back on the space station. And he said, okay, fine. And then she gave him a fake disc. He didn't realize it until he gets to his computer. And then it says Jack in the Box Zenon. And she goes, so he finds out, then Zenon ends up going to the space port and sees Protozoa, is like, hey, I'm the one who won. I need to go back on the ship with you. So then they all fly back to the space station. Her aunt, who's never traveled anywhere outside of Earth, hops on the plane to space. Then Wyndham and his evil spooky guy are also like get on there before they can get off. Meanwhile, this entire time, the space station is malfunctioning, about to blow up. Everyone's freaking out. There are hundreds of people on this thing that are like essentially going to die if they don't fix this. And they can't figure it out. And Zenon the entire time is tableting them saying, hey, I know what's wrong. You have to do this. And they're still not believing her, which is something we have to talk about. So they finally get up to space. She, long story short, she gives them the disc. She puts it in. She's typing in the wingdings and couldn't get it literally like 20 seconds, 10 seconds. The last second she gets the right wingdings, clicks enter, spaceship is saved. They go to a microbe / protozoa / Harry Styles concert on the spaceship. And she lets Raven-Symoné be the supernova girl. And she is,
she dedicates the song to her
Greg.
BF.
And that's Zenon Girl of the 21st century.
Yep. It was really fun. I had a great time. I thought Aunt Judy was such like a funny
she's so fun. She was such a great non-parent adult.
Yes. Okay, here are things that I completely forgot about that I really enjoyed. The horses.
Mm-hmm.
Completely forgot about the horses. Really enjoyed it. Another thing I forgot about completely was Judy and the captain of the ship.
Once I saw her, I remembered. Immediately, I remembered them falling in love at the end. And I just think that's so fun. Because then, spoilers for the sequel, she moves to the ship, I think.
Oh, really?
And they have a family.
I'm like not even 100% sure I've seen the sequel.
Oh, I can't wait. It's good. It's a good one.
Great. Also, I felt like the least developed characters in this movie were her parents. It was interesting because we talked in our last episode about how, and actually also in Brink, how they did such a good job with like giving depth to a lot of the characters, even the ones we never even met, in a really quick time frame in those movies. And it just felt like they didn't do that with these parents for some reason. Like they tried because they were like showing what they do for work and how passionate they are for work. And they showed each of them interacting with her. But for some reason, for me, that was the one part of this that like fell flat for me or didn't work for me. Because like Judy shows up halfway through the movie and instantly you like Judy. Instantly you know who Judy is. You just get her like right away. And I just didn't feel that with them.
That was pretty much everything that I had. I didn't really take a whole lot of notes this time. I just thought I was just kind of enjoying the movie.
Yeah. I mean, I've said most of what I wrote, so we're good.
Zenon, 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 and now it's time for Zenon Bingo.
That was great.
Thanks. Welcome to Bingo, where every week we have our bingo sheet and we mark our squares and we hope for the best.
That's right.
Is it a good intro, Val?
That was great. I love that intro.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. I'll start again.
Great.
One hit wonder song.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
When it's an invented band for a movie, it can only be a one hit wonder.
Correct. Got Breaking the Fourth Wall, looking into the camera. I didn't notice any. Did you notice any, Val?
Nope.
Yeah. Okay.
Holiday themed. No holiday theme.
No holidays here. Clunky metaphor. Val?
I would be pushing really hard to come up with a metaphor.
Great.
If you come up with one,
let us know. Let us know.
Okay. Parents who just don't get it. Oh, yes.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a box that we might like click every single time. We might check that week by week.
Probably, yes.
Yeah. Cool non-parent adult.
Judy.
Aunt Jody.
She's so funny when when they already crashed through the barrier and then she shows up. She's like, oh, Zenon's in there? Okay, I'm so sorry. It's like also crashes through the barrier.
So funny. Someone too famous for a TV movie.
No.
Not
at the time.
No.
Competition to resolve a central problem. No.
A montage sequence. No.
Cliche villains.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's kind of funny. We're getting like a tour of every type of cliche villain that there could possibly be.
It's really interesting, though, that I think except for one movie so far, the cliche villain has been an adult.
Yes.
And then the only time it wasn't was like a high school bully.
Right.
Who looked like an adult.
Who looks like an adult. Yeah. But I think that's sort of, I think that fits with like movies about teenagers, right? Because usually they're out of control of their lives because adults make the decisions. And usually adults are creating problems for them because they are either greedy or have some other issue. So definitely greed was the villainous characteristic here.
Yes. Clothes or item that you owned. The watch.
Yeah. Yes. So I didn't have a Baby G myself. I did have those exact swim goggles, the blue with the green strap.
You're so cool, Val. You're just the coolest.
I don't know about that.
You have Brink's quilt. You have Zenon's goggles.
I have that camera from
the camera.
Dog.
I remember that pic.
I'm still trying to find a picture of the quilt, and I'll try and find a picture of the goggles too, but I have to go to my parents' house to find
I definitely had one of the watches that we mentioned earlier. I want to say light blue, but I don't know if I'm saying light blue because hers was light blue. But I think it was either light blue or orange, or my sister and I had them. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was also something else that I had. Maybe you know what I did is scrunchies.
Oh, yeah. Lots of scrunchies. Okay. Rotten Tomatoes, 40 to 60. Okay. I don't think this one's going to be as high as the last couple.
Okay.
I liked it. So I'm going to say 70. I was bound to end my streak at some point.
It was 62.
Okay.
So we don't mark our square and you don't win. So
bummer.
Happily ever after? I'd say so.
I would say yes.
Yes.
Almost kissing.
The entire time Greg and Zenon are in a scene together.
So much almost kissing.
So many almost kiss. Someone who became famous. A few. Raven-Symoné.
Most notable Raven, for sure. But also Gregory Smith. He was in Everwood, and then he was in like a cop show, I want to say. Okay. I can't remember which one. There's too many. But he's done stuff.
Tons of stuff. So. And we also have Kirsten Storms, who, surprisingly, if no one here watches soap operas, has been on General Hospital since 2005. She's one of the leading actresses. She's been on over 1,000 episodes. Isn't it crazy?
That, credit where it's due. Because being on a soap opera that's hard work. Wow.
So crazy.
I'm impressed.
I know.
But yeah, so we have plenty of people who became famous after this.
Yeah.
So great. Betraying of one's real friends or values, not even in the slightest.
Sticks so close to her friends and values that she's trying to save the spaceship. If she had betrayed the spaceship and it was her problem, then we would mark the box. But she's a strong teen.
Yeah. And also, can we talk about how messed up it is that her parents blocked her from calling Nebula?
Yeah.
What the hell? That was really harsh.
Yeah. Grounded and grounded? Ugh.
Yeah, that was too much.
Yeah. Your childhood crush.
You know, I distinctly remember having a thing for Greg. So I'm a
It's
count
happening.
for sure.
She finally had a crush on someone.
And I definitely had a crush on him in Everwood. So
Yeah, he is a handsome dude.
he is.
And then this was 99, so I was 6, and I definitely remember Live, Laugh, Loving Protozoa. So
He's so charming.
he's so charming.
I love when he like gets the guard to just like quit his job. He's like, do you want to be a guard for the rest of your life? Or do you want to do rock and roll?
Yeah. Also,
So
I
funny.
loved when he was about to board the space plane and he's like thrusting in the air. I was like,
Yeah.
he is so fun. He was the perfect person to be Protozoa.
He was loving it.
Yeah.
Loving it.
Loving it.
Obviously bad special effects or stunts. I mean, yes, obviously. She does a spacewalk.
Thank you for admitting it this time. I wrote down one specific one because I didn't want you to be like, oh, is there?
That was just in Brink. You're
know.
like acting like I've literally done this every single time.
Every movie you come around here and
You think I'm fighting you when I'm not?
Yes.
You're making all these patterns.
So I came with it, and my first one, effects, I did floating rat.
Oh, yeah.
That was my first one.
Honestly, that was kind of cool.
Oh,
She like pets it. I mean, it was cooler than any of the magic in Halloween Town. What?
Nothing.
But I did like how a lot of the stuff was like practical effects, like how the stress helmet was just like a hat with
Just
lights.
hat with like balls on it that like a
Yeah.
Joker would wear.
Yeah, like I just thought that was so funny.
Yeah, it was great.
And definitely true to like the approach that they took with Halloween Town.
Yeah. We've got our actor square. We've got Eric Von Detten, Ryan Merriman, Kimberly J. Brown, Eddie Lawrence brother, and Kirsten Storms.
We did it!
We did it. We marked the box.
We're on a roll.
We are.
Yeah, love it. Musical number.
Zom,
Yes!
zom, zom. Boom, boom. Mazubanova, zom, zom, zom. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like a different kind of musical number, which is great.
Yeah, it was
like
perfect.
it wasn't like a musical.
Right, it wasn't
But it
High
was-
School Music. It wasn't Spaceship Musical, the musical, the
Right.
series, but it was.
But it was a musical performance.
It was a musical performance. It was a musical number.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Magic. No.
Nope, only space.
The magic of science.
The magic of science. Okay, I'm interested to know your thoughts on this one, Val. Someone says the title of the movie.
Well, it obviously depends if we're counting the entire post-colon title
Mhm.
or if we're just counting her name. I could go either way on this one because like when people just reference this movie, they don't
just say
say
Zenon.
Exactly. They don't say Zenon, Girl of the 21st Century, but that is the name. So
I'm comfortable either way. I half marked it.
I'd say we just mark it.
Okay.
I like people say her name a million times. I
Yeah.
think that counts. Okay, Scooby Dude.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
So much so that these child hackers
Like,
saved the
saved?
lives of hundreds of people.
And then the kid who saved the hundreds of people just ends up digging holes for like a year, you know?
I know.
Sad.
And then never made anything after 2004.
No, but I hope he's doing well.
Yeah. He's a cute kid. He was a good actor. I liked him a lot. I always think about in this movie when his computer explodes and he just like puts his head on the table.
On the glass, and then the shot
Yeah.
of him through the glass. So funny.
It just always, I will never forget that. For some reason, that moment stuck with me.
It's so funny. The heroes create the problem. Not this time.
Mm-mm.
It was already created.
The baddies created the
The
problem.
baddies.
Okay, lead is a fish out of water. Yeah.
Yes, she goes to Earth and she has no idea what she's doing. And then she has to get in the water. So she actually is, at one point, a fish.
She's a fish pulled out of water.
Fish pulled out of water.
Didn't know how to swim in.
She's a fish out of water, pulled out of the water. Val, it happened.
It did?
Val, we got our first bingo.
Wait, what?
Did you not know?
Okay, so secret behind the scenes. I don't actually fill out the card. So
You had no idea.
I had no idea. Wait, which way did we get it?
Parents who just don't get it, cliche villains, someone who became famous, musical number, lead as a fish out of water.
We did it! We sincerely thought that we would never get bingo.
We thought we were gonna have to wait until we got to like the 2010s and we were gonna watch like Zombies or something or like
The Descendants, Camp Rock.
We did it, Val!
We did it with Zenon. Heck yes, Zenon.
We love you, Zenon. Maybe I should give this movie a higher rating. No, I'm gonna keep it at an 8.
No. Be honest. Be true to yourself.
Oh my God.
I am so freaking jazzed right now. I am Major Nova about this victory.
I am stellar.
Oh my God.
We did
That's
it.
amazing.
Yeah.
We did it.
We did it. So we got bingo, our first bingo. Congrats, everyone.
Bingo. We may never get it again, so enjoy it.
This is one and done. All right, well, that leads us to our last segment, Val, which is it's Allie's game time. Now I've created a game for Val. She will play. Now this game's a little bit different this week, where it's kind of more of just an interactive, fun thing that I created that we're gonna go through and just figure out. So this week is called What's Your Zenon Name? So I have 26 times 3, which is how many, Val? 78?
Yeah.
I have 78 space words, and you correlate the first letter of your name to a word and the first letter of your middle initial to a word, and your last name, the first initial of your last name to a word, and you find out your Zenon name. Now, I used a random number generator to create the list, and so
wow.
Yeah, I went all out for this, Val.
And we'll post this.
And we're going to post it. We'll have a graphic so you can play along as well. So, Val, would you like to start with me, you, or Kirsten Storms?
Let's start with Kirsten.
All right, we're going to start with Kirsten. So Kirsten's name starts with K. So her first name is Dwarf Planet. Her middle initial is R, and so we have Galaxy. Her middle name is Renee, and so her Zenon name would be Galaxy. So we have Dwarf Planet Galaxy, and her last name starts with S, which is Probe. So we have
Dwarf Planet Galaxy Probe.
That's her Zenon name.
Wow.
Okay. Well then
I don't have much else to say about that. Sorry, Kirsten.
I'm not sorry. Okay, then we'll go me next. We'll finish on Val.
Okay.
Because Val is special. All right, we have the first letter of my name. It's Allie. It is Sky. So my first name is Sky. My middle initial is L for Louise. And my middle name is Hypernova, which I love so far. So we've got Sky Hypernova. Last name starts with R. My last name is Ring. And my last name is Meteorite. So Sky Hypernova Meteorite. It might sound
a good one.
Like I cheated the system, but I swear I used a random number generator to number
it's fine.
these.
You come up with the game, even if you did cheat.
Thank you. I did not. I would have picked something like something stupid like wormhole.
Watch, that's gonna be mine. Okay.
All right, Valerie. What does your name start with? Val.
V.
All right, so we have astronomy.
Okay.
And what's your middle initial?
H.
Okay, then your middle name is Inertia.
Okay, so wait, it's
Astronomy Inertia.
Ooh,
and your last name, Val, what's your last name?
Agnew.
So we've got Astronomy inertia binary star.
Whoa. Astronomy inertia
binary star. So that's my game today. It was pretty quick and fun, but we'll post a graphic so you can play along this week with what's your Zenon name? It'll be on our Instagram, D-commentaries.
Yeah. Come find us. All right, my friend.
All right. Bye, Val.
Bye, Al. This podcast was produced by me.
And me.
And it was edited by me.
The music was composed by Michael McNally.
You can find us online at thetridentnetwork.com/dcommentaries-pod and on Instagram at dcommentaries. D-Commentaries is a part of the Trident Network. To learn more about our videos, live shows, and other podcasts, please visit thetridentnetwork.com.
Disney Channel original movies.
Damn it, Allie.